This program is for educational purposes only. The content is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any diseases, nor is it intended to take the place of your primary care physician. Statements in this program have not been evaluated by the FDA. As an empowered individual, you do have options available. We're honored to continue and share the teachings of the founding father of science of epigenetics, Dr. Joel Wallach. This program is for educational purposes only. The content is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any diseases, nor is it intended to take the place of your primary care physician. Statements in this program have not been evaluated by the FDA. As an empowered individual, you do have options available. We're honored to continue and share the teachings of the founding father of science of epigenetics, Dr. Joel Wallach. This program is for educational purposes only. The content is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any diseases, nor is it intended to take the place of your primary care physician. Statements in this program have not been evaluated by the FDA. As an empowered individual, you do have options available. We're honored to continue and share the teachings of the founding father of science of epigenetics, Dr. Joel Wallach.
Hello, everybody. Welcome back, my friends, to Daily with Doc and Becca. My name is Becca Dukes, and this program is being brought to you by dailywithdoc.com. Now, today's going to be a little bit different, as we are going to be talking not just about health, but we're talking about families and the foundations for healthier life. So we're going to be talking also about families that have chosen to incorporate Youngevity into being proactive when it comes to our kids. So if you are a mom, a dad, a grandparent, a caregiver, an auntie, an uncle, great grandparent, this program is for you, as we are making conscious decisions to build wellness from the inside out, starting with our children. And it's not just starting with our children. We're going to be showing you some kids that have been raised on the Youngevity products and how they are developing, and how the parents feel that and sometimes the kids don't notice the difference, but we as parents absolutely do. So this is not about perfection. It's not about making sure that our kids are like perfect in every way, because they're perfect in our own eyes, right? No matter what. But this is about intention, folks, as it's about stewarding our children in health, teaching them about food, how nutrition matters, and giving their bodies the building blocks that they need during those critical growing years and beyond. So stay tuned with us, as we're going to be hearing about some families and some stories and their insights and encouragement for other parents when it comes to raising healthy kids. So if you are here live with us and somebody invited you, make sure that you get back with them, as they took the time and cared enough about you to share this program, to encourage you. Because folks, there's a lot of things that happen to us as we're growing. And there's a lot of things that we've been told are genetic or hey, you just can't avoid it. Well, Dr. Joel Wallach, one of the founders of the Youngevity company, my mentor, somebody that I was honored to spend 2 years as his apprentice, his what would you call it? Personal assistant, and helped in his publishing company, is one of the founding fathers of a science called epigenetics. Now, epigenetics has proven that theory of genetic disease transmission to be incorrect. So, folks, we're looking at U-turns for ourselves. Most importantly today, how we can support our children so they don't have to deal with some of the things that we may have dealt with when it came to how the body responds without the proper nutrition. So today, we've got several parents, some of my friends that I just absolutely love and adore, on with us, whose kids have been thriving when using the Youngevity products in their food. What would you call it? Jill, I would like you to come on with me. Since you're traveling, you got a great connection right now. Let's just get you in here because you're traveling to go see one of your kiddos.
Yes, I am.
Your son.
I am.
So tell us about Ian.
I have one son. His name's Ian, and Ian is 21 years old. We're traveling right now to watch a track meet that he has. He runs track for Flagler College, and we're really excited to go, spend some time with him. Ian started on the products when he was 10 years old. I personally found Youngevity in 2014. I kind of found it by accident, and I had some pretty serious health challenges that I was living with for 20 years. So when I found it, I pretty much did what Dr. Wallach told me to do right away. And right away, everything started changing in my body. So I knew that everything was different at 3 weeks, but at 6 weeks, my family, my son and my husband started taking nutrition too, because we knew it wasn't just hocus pocus. It was, it was making all the difference for me. So that's when my son started. It was about 6 weeks after I did. And I'll tell you that my son was a little bit premature.
Wait, you got muted. Let's go ahead and get you back unmuted.
Sorry, I'm holding the phone because we're in the car.
Yeah, so he was premature. We caught that.
Yeah, I was induced because I had serious health challenges. And so as soon as they thought his lungs were developed, they induced me. And his lungs were actually a little bit premature. They were a little wrong. And so he ended up with baby asthma and with seasonal intermittent allergies, which most of the time was not awful. When he got sick and he needed an inhaler, his lung issues showed at that point in time. So he was on medication from a wee baby. He took Prevacid, he took Singular, he had reflux, and he also had like I said, seasonal intermittent allergies and baby asthma. And so he lived that way till he was 10 years old. He took those things. And pretty much we could tell as soon as we started him on nutrition that things were changing in him too. So it was just a couple months till he was able to get off of those products that he had been on till he was 10 years old. I mean, those medications. So here's an early shot of him about the time he probably started. That's showing the Kids Sprinkles, which is a kid's multivitamin. It's a little, it's kind of like a pixie stick. You pour it on your tongue, and it has vitamins in it, and it tastes good. My son really enjoyed that. That was one of the first products he started. And then that's Cherry Mints. That's my other kid. That's my husband, Rob. And Cherry Mints is like a healthy shot, and you can get that in a couple different flavors, but that's what my son did at that point. He did those two products. That's what he started with, and he just did the healthy shot. And then here he is drinking Beyond Tangy Tangerine, which is, one of our top products in the company. It is what changed my health. And so he also took something called Bone Builder, which had calcium, magnesium, vitamin D, and it also has a little bit of glucosamine in it, and essential fatty acids. And the essential fatty acids were one of the things that really helped him with his lungs, with him being able to get over that. And the last time that we went to the doctor, they did say he no longer had any of those issues. He no longer had the asthma or the seasonal intermittent allergies. So we're real thrilled with that. Here he is a little bit older. This is my son's favorite product. He loves Rebound in a can. So many kids are drinking those energy drinks that they pick up here, there, and everywhere, and they have awful things in them. And our Rebound in a can is just packed with vitamins and minerals and none of that bad stuff. And it has great flavor. It has a little bit of fizz. And it's to this day my son's favorite product, but here he's showing it. I think there it is. Yeah, he just got it for Christmas because he still really enjoys it as well. And the cans, they fly out of the house. My son's friends all love them. He lives in a house with soccer athletes, and they would fly out of the refrigerator there too. So they're very hard to keep in stock. Here is a picture of my son. First of all, I'll just mention one of my son's other favorite products is called Electrofuel. It's an energy drink that has 0 calories, 0 carbs. So it's pretty much good for anyone, has a raspberry flavor. And this is my son. He also played soccer. My son is a state soccer champion, and we're very proud of the fact that not only is he a champion, did his team win, but my son actually kicked in the winning goal. And part of the little story there is that my son, you could see the difference in him on the athletic field from his teammates, especially on the soccer field. You could really see it because at soccer, they don't often take you out if you're good. You're playing with very few breaks. And a lot of his teammates, we would watch them cramping up. We'd watch them falling down with leg cramps, with issues that they would have to be taken off the field, or some of them ended up with injuries that completely sidelined them. And my son did not experience any of that because he had the nutrition on board. It made the biggest difference for him. And in this state championship game, what they did is we were outmatched, and the other team was actually better, but they pulled all of the offensive players and put them on defense, with the exception of my son. My son was the only person on offense, and he just ran around like the Energizer Bunny, waiting for the opportunity to have something that he could take up the field and put into the net, and he did. So we're just real proud of that. And like I said, we could always see the difference in his level of energy and just in the vitality that he had even at that young age compared to his friends and the other athletes.
How about this picture?
Yeah. Well, that's my son. That he's making those muscles in the other picture too, I think. I'm pretty sure. Or maybe that was my husband making the muscles. But this is his track picture from this year. This is him now at 21. Healthy and strong, and none of those lung problems, that he experienced for the first 10 years. He doesn't have them anymore. He's just normal and healthy. Well, he's better than normal because you don't know what you don't know. And unfortunately, there's just so many people out there that don't know the difference. But I feel great that we're giving my son what he needs for his body to fuel him and to keep him healthy. Another thing that we always give him is selenium. Really, really important. We hear so many things happening to athletes on the athletic field, and selenium is a super important nutrient to have on board as well. And Ian has always taken that since we first started.
Fantastic. Awesome. So Folks, are you listening? If you get kiddos with lung issues, they're not going to have them forever, as long as their bodies are being supported with the right nutrition. Now, this program is not meant to take the place of your primary care physician. It's not meant to treat, diagnose, or cure any disease. But folks, when you give the body what it needs, the body itself can do some amazing things. It doesn't matter what age you're at. So thank you, Jill.
I have one other favorite product.
Go for it.
I have one other favorite product. I should have mentioned it because it's a good one for kids, right, of all ages. Is my son also loves root beer belly. And that is also like a pixie stick sort of thing. You just open it up and pour it directly on your tongue. It actually tastes like root beer, tastes great, but it's a probiotic. It has 5 different strands. It has 5 billion probiotic in it. And what it does is it not only repairs your digestive system, but it helps you when you have a bellyache. And so he loves that. And we used to keep it in the candy dish when he was little because he knew if he had a bellyache, he could go for it. But we learned when he was a teenager we couldn't because all his friends wanted it too because they had belly aches. So
well, just to get the taste. I had a bellyache, whether I got one or not. They still taste
no, actually, I really
amazing.
think a lot of them did. I really think a lot of them had digestive issues. And so Ian was trying to be kind. And we'd go through a box like instantly. And I'd be like, look, everybody's welcome to try it. But at some point, we need to talk with their parents about about them
Right.
getting a solution on a more permanent basis. So anyways, thank you. I really appreciate the opportunity to tell people about our experience with it. And Youngevity definitely changed my health, my life, and my family's health as well.
Well, thank you so much, Jill, for coming on with us. I know you're on the road now from Pennsylvania to Florida to go to one of Ian's track meets. So that's absolutely fantastic that we were able to catch you in a spot where you had great connection and service. Thank you. Thank you. Well, folks,
AJ has a question for Jill.
Oh, AJ, question.
Hi, AJ.
Hey, Jill. Thanks for coming on. Jill, given that your son plays soccer, I'm going to throw a dart and say that he's a distance runner.
Oh no, the opposite. He's a sprinter. My son's gift is that he's fast. My son's fast on the soccer field. He's fast on the track. He's been fast in every sport that he has. It doesn't matter what it is. He's fast and he has that endurance. And like I said, the parents all comment on how my son has the endurance that they don't see from other people. That he's the Energizer Bunny. So yeah, no, his gift is that he's fast, and that's what worked for him on the soccer field is he could get places other people couldn't get because he was really fast.
And they don't ask you what he's doing. Like they don't say, "Wow, your son's really fast. Can we do some of that stuff too?" Like,
yes, of course they do. We do have plenty of opportunities to talk to people about adding nutrition as well. And my husband definitely, he's a good giver. He likes to hand out packets of Rebound to those kids that we do see suffering, the ones that we see falling down with the leg cramps. My husband is always all over that, handing them the packets of Rebound and handing them the electrofuel as well.
That's awesome. Any other questions, AJ? Oh,
thank you,
AJ's
Jill.
got a thumbs up. Awesome. Thank you. Thank you. Now, because I have somebody that's just like itching to get out of here, and I'm like super excited that he will even come on screen with me, is I have my youngest who just this morning said, "Can I have a kid sprinkle?" Because they still taste good to him at 14. What's the thing that you notice most or have noticed? So, or what are you taking? Okay, so
You didn't tell him he had to talk. You didn't tell him he'd be forced to speak.
So he takes the on-the-go pack. So it's easier for him as he's traveling back and forth between myself and his father. And he also takes the de-stress. On the on-the-go pack, it has 4 of the Beyond Tangy Tangerine tablets, one of the mineral caps, one of the ultimate cow, and then an EFA. Plus he takes extra EFAs and the de-stress. So as a young man that has had some challenges with getting in front of people, I think the de-stress does help him some. And AJ has some questions. AJ.
Alex, how tall are you?
Last time I checked, 5'11.5".
Are you taller than me?
If I remember correctly, maybe.
Don't you tell people you're taller than me, man. That's not fair. This is national television. I'm just joking. No, Alex is an amazing young man, and I'm glad that you came on with us. And you know, between adding nutrition and exercise, Alex is he's gonna take it by storm. You're gonna take the world by storm. People need to watch out for this kid. He's a good kid, good man, good young man. That's all I gotta say. Stop being shy.
So Alex is my brainiac child. He is very sharp. He just loves science. And anything you put in front of him, he like is a sponge. And I love the fact that he's wanting to get into culinary arts, which we can incorporate the nutrition in there as well. Now, one of the biggest things with him, because I think he's my fastest growing child, where the others experienced, and I myself, I remember my grandmother rubbing my legs because I was having growing pains so bad in my legs. He has not had any growing pains. And I think that's absolutely fantastic, because if you haven't experienced growing pains, it hurts. Those Charlie horses. And I'm so thankful that he has not had to experience those. And another thing, my other kids, if I would have offered, and this is because they didn't have the Youngevity nutrition on board, or even, you know, beyond what I knew to be good, healthy cooking, is if you put sweets in front of them, they were gone. Alex, he can say no. He just goes right past. It doesn't faze him. Occasionally, yes, it's mom's fault that he gets a sweet put in front of him, and he will eat it. But for the most part, he makes such better choices when it comes to the food and choosing, especially when we're out and having to eat. So he's actually 5'11.75". We measured him 2 days ago. And at 14, he is as tall as his next brother up, who's 12 years older than him. He still has about an inch to beat his tallest brother, but he definitely will be taller than all of them. And thank you so much, Alex, for coming on with me today.
You're welcome, Mother.
You can go now.
Yeah.
But I just want to let him go ahead and move on out. Let's go to AJ. I saw you unmuted. Did you want to add something?
No, good kid. Nothing to add. Nothing to add.
All right. Well, thank you, Alex. Let's go over to our next guest that we have on with us. And I am just, this lady is just such an inspiration. Somebody that I met, oh goodness, physically met you in Cabo, San Lucas, just weeks before the COVID shutdown. And you have just been such a delight, and I'm so thankful that you're part of our Youngevity family, and coming on today talking about your own kiddos. So please share, Susan, about your sons and what you have experienced as well.
Thank you. Thanks so much for having me on. I really appreciate that. It's really an honor to share. We got involved in Youngevity about 14 years ago or so. And my youngest was like in 8th grade. So it's 13-ish, 12, 13-ish or something like that. And then my other boys were in high school, sophomore, senior, I believe. But one thing that we had them attend a live lecture with Dr. Wallach. And because I really felt that information was so important for them, I felt that that would help them really buy in, get a really commitment into the program. But we got them on like the Healthy Start Pack, and it made such a difference. So my 2 older boys, actually, we had suffered a severe downturn in the economy, that major collapse of the economy. And so we were really struggling. So my 2 older boys got jobs. And now my older boys are very strong academically, very, very bright, very driven in that respect. But they were so committed to the supplements that they bought them themselves. They ordered, my middle son, Daniel, I don't know if Dage is going to show any of the pictures, but actually signed up to be a distributor. And he talked to all his buddies or whatever and got them signed up and whatever. And then, of course, and he's still a distributor. How old is he now? Let me think. 31. Yeah, 31. And he's not really actively involved as much in the business right now, but he's still making commission on people that he had signed up when he was still in high school. So they had a buy-in. That's my 3 boys when they were younger. My youngest in the front, obviously he's the baby. So all my boys are very tall. My oldest and my youngest that's my youngest, Ben. So that's when gosh, how old was he then? Yeah, that was, I don't know, maybe he was 14-ish or something, I guess, maybe. But he's 6'7", and my oldest son is 6'7", and then my runt comes in at 6'4". Okay, so that next picture is Ben and Daniel. So that's when we were dropping Daniel off at college his freshman year. So Ben is the one that was on the supplements. We started him the earliest, right? And to just elaborate a little bit about him is, so my 2 older boys all of them were athletic, which, this is great. In Indiana, and especially basketball and all the sports that were part of the school system there. But Ben was more athletic, and he was a little bit more, if you've had children, some require a little bit more prodding academically, right? A little more follow-up, get your homework done. My 2 older ones, I didn't have to, but Ben, I had to. He had some dyslexia issues. And so the other thing too that he was really experiencing is severe migraines. And I mean, he was like in 8th grade, and I have to go and pick him up at school or pick him up from practice. And it was just heartbreaking, because I didn't know what to do. And he'd be in his bedroom. I have everything, all the lights, off and everything. And he'd be pounding on the wall. He was in such utter pain. And it was really about that same time that we got, on Dr. Wallach's supplements. So I got him on the Healthy Start Pack, the selenium. And I don't know that I had added the glucogel then, but anyway, he got rid of his migraines, and he's never had migraines ever since then. So that was like, oh, I would say there he is right there playing basketball. Now, so one of the things I had mentioned to AJ when I talked to him maybe a month or so ago, that I was very proactive. And like for Jill, she talked about how important selenium was. That was something that really, really touched me to know, because, I see all these young boys running up and down the court, and I did not want, that to happen, any kind of cardiomyopathy issue with Ben. And so for sure, I felt such a sense of peace knowing that this kid's protected, he's got the 90. But the other thing that I did, because I wanted to prevent injury, I mean, with such a, obviously it's not football, but it's pretty aggressive. It's this in basketball, especially Indiana basketball, very, very competitive. And so he's a forward there. I did therapeutic dosing of glucogel. So I gave him 8 capsules of glucogel at breakfast and 8 capsules of glucogel at dinner, because I wanted to make sure that he, could prevent injuries. So it was amazing too. He turned his ankle a couple of times through his varsity basketball, or all of his basketball. And, but that was it. And he bounced back really fast. So I really felt good about that, and he's 29 now, and he still takes all the supplements. That was, I don't know if I saw that picture there, but he takes all the supplements today. And the other thing too is he actually now is a licensed plumber, and he's on a big job site. And he's turning a lot of his fellow plumbers onto Rise and Restore. So I've got some Rise and Restore customers from him. He's all big on promoting that. That is a picture of my boys. Ben's on your left to my right. We would tend to, because he went into the Marines. So he got some looks and offers for college basketball, but he wanted to go into the Marines. So we went into the Marines. So we were there in San Diego at graduation. We were at that Airbnb that we had. It was so awesome. Anyway, the other thing with Ben, I took some notes because I want to make sure I didn't forget anything about the dyslexia issue. So we had some issues with that. But when I got him on the supplements, it made such a difference. I'm not saying that he didn't require a little more prodding academically, but he didn't require as much, and which is great, And then my other 2 boys, they were all athletic too, but they were a little more academically driven. And I mean, nutrients help your brain, right? So they both got full ride scholarships to college, and which is, I'm so proud of, that they were, got that. So anyway, the other thing is, one of the pictures that's coming up is my son Matt, which is here's been feeling a little hot dog there, lifting weights when he was in the Marines, showing off his bod. That's my family there that we were at something for college. My oldest son on the far right, he was some induction thing that he got. So, and Ben, you can see how tall they are. If anybody knows me, I mean, I'm no shrimp. I'm about 5'6.5", but you can see there's, I don't know, just something that it's so funny when you hug them. It's like, oh my gosh, I feel like I'm a little, shrimpy here, but I know that really helped them. The other thing, Jill was talking. Oh, you were talking about that, Becca, that the growing pains. Well, one of the things that 2 of the older boys got, or was that Osgood slaughters. Have you heard of that Osgood slaughters, where you have that knee thing in the, it's really a bone and joint issue, right? And so they have to wear this little band protection around below their knee to prevent that, whatever that tendon or whatever that is that would pop out. Well, so I didn't know about, I just thought it was sort of an inevitable thing. I didn't know, but then Ben never developed that at all. And of course he was my most athletic. So I was really happy that protected that from developing. It's not an inevitable thing. It's a deficiency issue. And you just got to take the supplements to help that maintain its elasticity and keep it in its place. So, and the other thing with my oldest son, Matt, he and his fiance at the time, they're married now. You'll see there they are there. There's Matt and Destiny. And they have two kids now. You'll see one of my little granddaughters and maybe one of the other pictures. But after college, they did a 2-year stint in Guinea, Africa, in the Peace Corps. There they are there. They're in their native dress in Guinea. And so the Destiny's in the middle, obviously, and then to her right, the left of the picture is my middle son, Daniel. He went to visit them. And then of course my son to the right of Destiny, his wife, that's Matt. So one thing, they were in a very, when I say hostile environment, I mean, it was tribal. And I was very concerned about, there's health, and they're so exposed to so many things, first of all, they did a lot of open air cooking. So there was a lot of smoke. And then there was, the intense heat of the summer. They lived in a hut for 2 years. So when I talked with them, I said, well, okay, we got to figure out some sort of a supplementation that's doable, right? I mean, no air conditioning, no running water. I mean, it was very primitive. When you think of classic Peace Corps, now granted, there's a lot of, I don't know what they call it, powder puff Peace Corps, but this was true Peace Corps. So what we decided that we would send them and ship because it was 2 years, the Healthy Body Star Pack on the go, because that would be doable for them. And then I think I also did the Nature's Pearls because I wanted them to get a lot of antioxidants. So I don't know if anybody's ever shipped things to Africa, you're paying way more in shipping than you are in actually what you're putting in the box. But it was worth it to us and me to know that they were getting something nutrition, to help in that kind of hostile environment that they were living in for that 2-year period of time. Now, this is my son, Daniel, and he's the one that signed up as a distributor. And, like I said, he still has his distributorship and still makes an income, and that's his wife there. He's my runt at 6'4". But he's extremely, bright and healthy. And he does, I try to remember what happened. He does have some kind of a hip issue that he deals with. So he's make sure he stays, on the supplements with the glucogel, and that really helps counteract some issue. There they are right there. Some wedding, I think they attended in Florida. So, and they're on the supplements, and they don't have any babies yet. So we're making sure that she's, getting all the nutrients she needs to have really healthy babies. We're all about healthy babies. Okay. And that's Ben. That's my baby that has been on. And I would say he's the most committed more than anyone on the supplementations. And that's his little niece, one of our little granddaughters. And he, like I said, he's pitching it with his plumber friends, and they're all getting the Rise and Restore. But I think the big thing was making sure they understood why, and here's the thing too. And, in doing consultations with people and parents and whatever, I just say, well, we just didn't give our kids an option. We didn't, oh, mommy, I don't like that, or, or whatever. I mean, granted, we'd work with them but they were bought in because they heard the message. They understood the aspect of deficiencies and things like that. And I really think that really made a difference in them being, I hate to use the word compliant, but in a way it was, because well, we would give them their supplements. We'd put them together, right? I didn't, when they were younger, and then so they developed a habit. And then, but then the food thing, was it Jill that mentioned that? Or maybe you, Becca, did. Yeah. So, we've been following Dr. Wallach's Good Food, Bad Food diet for over, 13 years, pretty much since we started almost. And that's been really a big benefit, because all my boys are foodies in the sense that they're not junk food eaters at all. And now my Daniel is 100% gluten-free. Ben is, for the most part. Matthew, not so much, but they're all definitely about eating healthy. They're not, going out and eating junk food and all that stuff. So that was a big mile set for them when in the family influence and things like that. So anyway, I feel so thankful that Dr. Wallach's message, and that, we found him as a family, and it's been quite just a wonderful experience.
Oh, I think that's fantastic. And I think we as parents need to be more of the authority when it comes to what goes in their body. Because I know a lot of times, especially with Alex, he had texture issues. And it did take a little bit of trying to, figure out, okay, how is he going to drink this Tangy Tangerine? Because we know that is what's going to be the most absorbable. But for him, we added in Soul from the Youngevity line, where Jill had mentioned the electrofuel. Soul is right there with next to the electrofuel, and it made the taste where he actually enjoys it now. So when he's with me, he drinks his Tangy Tangerine, his Osteo-fx and Soul. When he's with his dad, like you mentioned, the on-the-go packs. And it's the matter of getting the nutrition in their bodies.
Right, for sure.
So you've been in this 7 years longer than I have. You've brought your kids up using the Youngevity products. I wish that I had the Youngevity products whenever my older kids were younger, because we also dealt with some dyslexia. And then the de-stress, oh my goodness, has been just a great addition for those kiddos that have issues with attention deficit or deficiencies or anxiety, inability to really cope with stress. Those vitamins have been fantastic, not just for heart failure, congestive heart failure. That's the word I'm looking for. So what else do you think, from what you know now and working with clients, what are some other recommendations that you have?
As far as, well, let's say for protocols, I mean, I like, as far as like getting the 90 and a very easy, because sometimes you got to find what's going to be the most convenient, what they're going to take. I'll usually do like the ultimate Tangy Tangerine, the liquid, and the SmartFX. That gets you all the 90. You still get 300 milligrams of your calcium. And that has been a protocol that a lot of my clients' kids seem to do really well on. First of all, the SmartFX has a very high amount of DHA, which is just brain food, right? And they're very, very small. And that makes them very easy to swallow, especially for younger kids. But even, teenagers sometimes kind of are, abrasive with swallowing, stuff like that. But again, it's like, the parent, like you said, you really do have to, be the authority figure and not just acquiesce to what, I don't want to, or they get fussy, but that's where the buy-in comes in. If they understand why, and especially kids that are involved in athletics, there's so much information out there, and they understand, even with all the famous athletes, they know that they nutrify. They know they're doing something, right? But I used to manage GNCs back in the day. And but most of the things that they used would be like just protein shakes or pre-workouts or creatine or something, which are fine. These are okay. But it's not the micronutrients and those foundational things. So there is some education as it relates to that. But appeal to the kids that are athletic. Hey, this will help you in your performance. This will help you prevent injury, these kinds of things. But the other thing too is, we set stuff out. We modeled that. We did, we took it ourselves. So we modeled that. We just say, do not what I tell you to do, but follow my example. And following that example, I think that's been important too, in that respect.
Oh, I totally agree. That's one thing I was going to say. We've got to set the example.
Right.
For our children. And I absolutely agree with you when it comes to giving them information, because I'm not just do what I say type of person. But it's about educating them so that they know why it is that we are just so adamant about making sure that our kids are getting the nutrition they need.
Well, and even, like my son, my youngest one, he was just what 12 or 13. I mean, he wasn't too young. Even 8, 10-year-old, they're not too young to understand this information and grasp the importance and significance of supplementation. So, that just having them that buy-in really helps them, have some skin in the game, so to speak.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And Jill had mentioned that her son just started on the Soul and which was it? Smart. Also convenient little pouches. You just add it to water, dissolves instantly to help with focus in school and combat stress. So 2 more great products that Youngevity has added to their lineup of products to help us help our families to thrive even more. Now, we have a question coming in, and you can help me answer this.
Okay.
Anne is wanting to know, what do you recommend for a baby? Her first grandchild is due in August. Congratulations, Anne. Being a grandma, Nana is a great place to be. We welcome you to that club. What would you recommend, Susan?
Great question. First of all, I guess the biggest question is the mother nursing? If the mother's
That
nursing,
is the best question.
if the mother's nursing, then you don't, and she needs to be on the supplements. And then you wouldn't really need to provide any additional nutrition for that little infant as long as the mother is taking supplements. Now, once the child is weaned or begins eating, drinking, and when I say weaned, I don't even mean 100% weaned, because, you can nurse. I mean, I don't know. I think my daughter-in-law's, and she's busy going to school and all this stuff. She's still busy, but she's still nursing even at 2 years. Granted, it's reduced amount, but so let's say you begin to introduce solid foods, 7 months maybe, right? First of all, you got to have the parents buy in. I mean, that's just it, But one of the liquids would be good. I know there's a kid's toddy. I've never tasted that before. It's not terribly high in a lot of nutrients, but it's for the size of an infant, that could be a good place to introduce it into, I don't know, water or some type of a drink or something. And based on the child's weight, I mean, you may not even use a whole ounce, maybe just use a half an ounce. Now,
teaspoon even.
Yeah, a teaspoon,
Yeah.
right? And then the other thing too is, I mean, essential fatty acids are really important. So I would say even the Smart FX, just even one of those, and you can prick it and squeeze it on something would be good. That's going to pretty much get you all the 90. Now, you could introduce some of the minerals too, because I don't think the kid's toddy has trace minerals in there. But even, a teaspoon of the plant minerals in something, or like what was it that Jill, the cherry mints or something like that, or just the plain minerals. You don't need that much, so you could put it in some other form of liquid and have them drink that. But if the mother's nursing, you wouldn't need anything as long as that she's supplementing herself. Do you know if the mother is going to be supplementing while she's?
We do not know. So, Anne, first thing, get mama on the nutrients and have her stay on them, especially if she is nursing. And you had mentioned the plant-derived minerals. Jill had shown a picture of her husband Rob and Ian holding up the cherry mint. Putting that in your water, that's going to be some amazing electrolyte filled water. And it tastes good. So cherry mints, strawberry kiwi mints, whichever one you want to do. Or
and as they get a little bit older, as they get a little older, you could do what are they called? I forgot
the kid sprinkles.
The kid sprinkles. Now they're, it's not exhaustive. It's not like, when you look at the supplement facts, it's, you would still want to do some minerals and some EFAs or something like that. But the other thing is, when you start the kids young, they, their taste buds are developed in such a way that it's not going to be a problem. You're not going to run into a big fight or something like that as maybe they get older and they don't like the stuff or something. But
yeah. Well, awesome.
good
And
question.
of course, yes. I love the fact that we're in a live situation where people are able to ask questions. People more than just AJ.
Hey, Susan, thank you so very much for being on with us. I really love hearing your story and seeing how healthy and happy your kids have grown. But you said that your short child, the 6'4" guy,
Yeah.
he started his own YGY business. What age was that?
He was a sophomore in high school.
So it's like
And it was so
15 or
cool.
16?
15, 16, yeah, around that age, right? And it's so fun because he got dressed up in his like nice jacket and suit and had me take a picture of him because, to promote, I don't know, I guess he had, oh yeah, because to put his picture on his Youngevity distributor account, right? And he had the CDs and he's of course, now you got links and stuff, but back then it was CDs. So he listened to Dead Doctors Don't Lie Again. He listened to, all the ones, like serial killers and all the ones that were really, all that were so great for information. He was hungry, and which was exciting. And he still is very, very health conscious and takes supplements today as well.
So you're saying and how old is he now?
He is 31.
So he's had an account for 15 years.
Yeah. Well, almost as long as I have.
And you're saying this 15-year-old kid started a business that he's still getting a check from today.
Yes, he still gets commission. Now he's not actively building like he had been because he's busy doing some other jobs, working and stuff like that. But he's still, all the work that he put into it in the past, he's still reaping benefits from it.
Did he ever reach 1 star?
No, he never reached 1 star.
He didn't reach 1 star?
No,
I'm
he
shocked.
was our regional RMD, whatever they call those back then. So it would have been senior associate. He definitely was a senior associate.
Wow. That is impressive. That's inspirational.
Not too late.
Thank you. I'm
That's
pretty proud.
awesome.
I'm pretty proud of those boys for sure. No,
Daniel's
31. Yeah, Daniel's 30. I don't know. Well, anyway, they're all close, so. But if I surely wish I had known about this when I was pregnant or before I had babies, and of course I didn't, right? Because I don't know when was Dr. Wallach started. I could have known, I suppose, because my oldest was born in 1993. When did Doc start lecturing? Is that 96?
Well, you know what? This year marks 30 years.
30 years. So
that Youngevity has been Youngevity.
Well, that just makes you feel so much more confident in a company that's been that enduring, doesn't it?
Yeah. Through so many different things. They just continue to get stronger and stronger. I love that. Well, thank you so much, Susan. Greatly
thank you for having me. I feel honored. I feel very honored to be asked.
Well, thank you. We appreciate you, all that you do, all that you help us do, and contributing to, so many people out there that don't know how important nutrition is. So thank you. I appreciate you. Thank you, Jill and Alex, for coming on shortly. And so there's a couple things that I wanted to mention before we get to our final pictures. As we are putting together our medicine cabinet for our kids, okay, especially if you're just getting started, and we want to do things a little more natural, when we've got our kiddos on a strong nutritional program, and this is something that I noticed, I think Alex has had a fever maybe once in his life. He has been on the Youngevity products for almost 10 years now. They just don't get, they don't catch everything that comes along.
Right.
You know? So making sure that you have the colloidal silver, because yeah, they are going to fall. They're going to get scrapes. They're going to get bumped.
Mm-hmm.
You got the colloidal silver. You can put it in a spray bottle, spray it. You can put it in their mouth. There is absolutely no flavor to it. We've even used it for other kids that have had styes, get some type of eye infection.
Right.
What, AJ?
You can't say the CS word on YouTube.
CS? Oh, sorry. You know, there's so many things that or different platforms just don't want us to say. They don't want you to know the truth. But I'm sorry, AJ. So in your kids' medicine cabinet, let's go ahead and get those kids sprinkles in there, especially if your kiddos are 4 years old and older. You just sprinkle them on the tongue. They dissolve instantly. When they get to about 7, 8 years old, and even before, you can start off with the kids' toddy. When they get to 7, 8 years old and they're reaching close to 75 pounds, you can even go right into the Tangy, Tangerine, Osteo-fx, and the EFAs. Yes, Smart FX. That's S period, M period, A period, R period, T period, FX. It is an acronym. Are small. They're easy to swallow. They could even chew them up and then swallow them. And same with the EFAs, EFA plus. Those are brain food, folks. They're also nature's blood cleaner. So we want to make sure that we are keeping the blood clean, keeping our kids nutriated. Another thing to get into that kids cabinet is the root beer belly, as Jill had mentioned. Even for babies, if they get colicky and have a tummy ache, especially if they have a pacifier, just moisten the little tip of the pacifier, dip it in the powder. They'll suck it. That gets down into the digestive system. That gives them probiotics and enzymes that help with digestion. And that's the big thing about the root beer belly. It's a great way to get probiotics and some enzymes into your kiddos to help make sure that they have a microbiome that is functioning. Another great thing is the I-26, those chewables. Taste great. If your kids love vanilla, you get the vanilla. If they like more or lean more towards coconut and banana, you got coconut and banana. If they don't like flavors, do the powder. Mix it up into something and hide it. It tastes, for me, it just tastes like the shell of like an eclair. There's no real flavor to it. A couple more things that you can add to that, especially if you deal with kids that seem to get sick often. You've got the Good Herbs line. You've got the immune support. You've got the Super Olive Health, the respiratory and sinus respiratory. There's circulation. There's the sinus allergy. Those are tinctures, and also bone and joint, which helps to support the connective tissue and the bones of the body. It just takes one dropper full, which is about half a teaspoon. You can put it in a little bit of water. If you want to set it out the night before, that's okay. They can drink it and be done with it. And that just gives us one more tool in our toolbox to help us help our kids. Now, AJ, I think you've got a couple more pictures to show that I am very tickled that our CEO has shared, and COO, so our Chief Executive Officer, yeah, and our COO officer have shared. And these are Dr. Wallach's, or two of Dr. Wallach's grandchildren. We have the oldest one and the youngest one, as they are showing you. First was Root Beer Belly. Now this is the youngest one showing the kid's toddy. This is Andrew, who is now in college and going to be a veterinarian, just like his grandfather. So I'm super, super tickled to see here. We're doing one of our shakes, our strawberry shake that we used to have from the keto line. Another one that tastes great. Now we have the TMR, both in chocolate and vanilla. Meal replacements. So if your kids need more nutrition, got meal replacements to help get that in. That tastes great. What else do you have, AJ? Oh, there we go. And 2 thumbs up. What is that?
Not sure, but they're happy.
Oh. I think that's the kids' toddy that they are showing there. And that they take, and of course behind them is a whole counter full of Youngevity products, which is not hard to do when you find something that you totally believe in. You always have something to turn to. And one more picture.
Yeah, that was the last one. We saw this one with the kid in the Root Beer Belly.
All right. Well, folks, thank you so much for joining us here on Daily with Doc. My name is Becca Dukes, and if I could get my co-hosts up on the screen with me, and Susan, come on back. Jill, if you're here, come on up. This is a family. We're a family business. We care about families, and we want to make sure that families are as healthy as they absolutely can be. And one way to help do that, there's no guarantees. People are still going to make their own choices, but is to make sure that they have the nutrition available. And as parents, let's make sure that we get the nutrition into our children by setting an example and having them do it right along with us. Now, Susan, there is one question coming in. How tall is your husband? Because the kids are towering over him even.
I know. He's 6'1".
6'1". So he's
There's
not
height
short.
on both sides of our family. My great-grandfather, this is way back, right? He was 6'5", and that was like way back in the day, right? And then
Awesome.
Yeah, so there's a lot of height on both sides of our family, but
very cool. Awesome. Great question. And a couple more things to add to that medicine cabinet. We've got the apple cider vinegar gummies, also very helpful for digestion. Thank you, Jill, for mentioning that. For our kids that are active, you want to make sure that you have that CM cream that's going to help whenever they do overexert themselves. You've got something to help ease some of the pain there. And also physical care, which is an essential oil blend that you can mix into that CM cream for additional support, especially for our children that are very active and start getting those stinky feet. Make sure that you get that tea tree essential oil. You can mix that into plant-derived minerals, shake it up, put it in a spray bottle, and have your own foot spray to help get over the athlete's foot.
You can do the same thing with lavender and help with sunburn. The lavender and the plant-derived minerals, and plant-derived minerals is amazing for sunburn.
Yes, it is. Oh, absolutely. And then also the To Be Well essential oil also, which helps to build immune system. So folks, there is so much that we can do, and it's just about having knowledge and sharing that knowledge with each and every one of you. That is at our heart's desire. So I want to do a shout out and thank you to all of my co-hosts and my guests today. We've got Albert letting people in. Thank you, Albert, joining us at 11 p.m. in the middle of the night. We have Susan joining us as a guest. Thank you so much, Susan. We have Marilyn, who is typing her little fingers away. So if you're here live with us and you've got that chat open, you know how busy she's working. We have Sherry, who's part of our tech team, helping to get the stream going and keeping an eye on things, make sure everything is still streaming with sound. Thank you so much, Sherry. Jill joining us on the road. Thank you, Jill. As a guest, we have Ruth Ellen, my executive production manager, helping to keep everybody in line, and also the stream. If you're watching us out on any of the different platforms, it's because of Ruth Ellen taking this program, adding the graphics to it, and pushing it out to the stream. And AJ for helping us get our guests together today as I was on vacation, and also getting us out on all those different platforms. So folks, get back with the person that shared this program with you. Tell them thank you and say, hey, I want to get my kids what they need to be proactive, especially proactive, because you know being proactive is so much more affordable than being reactive when they get sick. So there is something that we can do that helps us to limit or avoid so many of those deficiency type symptoms and conditions, as Dr. Wallach found that there are 90 essential nutrients, and on average about 10 poor health symptoms associated with each one. So you do 90 times 10.
Finn, we're wrapping the show. 1 second.
And AJ is trying to close us out. So folks, thank you so much for joining us here on dailywithdoc.com. Go ahead and go to dailywithdoc.com. Make sure you sign up for the newsletter. If you were not referred to this show by somebody and you're not working with anybody, we do have a store on our website. If you want to get with a certified holistic health coach and you're not working with anybody, you weren't referred to this show by anybody, I do have a team of certified holistic health coaches on our call team at 855-949-3377. Again, that's 855-949-3377. So folks, thank you so much for joining us. Have a fantastic day. We will see you tomorrow with Pharmacist Ben. And what, AJ? You've got your hand up again.
Well, because Olga mentioned that she wanted to see the cutest guest on the show again.
He ran away.
Like, I mean, how cute?
Oh.
Oh, yes, she is the cutest, isn't she? So adorable. Awesome. Well, thank you so much, Olga, and thank you, everybody, for investing a little bit of time into yourself. And also, I want to do a special shout out for one of our amazing coaches, Keely, who is helping me put things together in the background. So thank you so much, Keely, for your private messages to me as well. So everybody have a great day. And until next time, don't forget, you are important. Your families are important. And you're worth investing the best nutrition into each and every one of you. Bye for now.
This program is for educational purposes only. The content is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any diseases, nor is it intended to take the place of your primary care physician. Statements in this program have not been evaluated by the FDA. As an empowered individual, you do have options available. We're honored to continue and share the teachings of the founding father of science of epigenetics, Dr. Joel Wallach. This program is for educational purposes only. The content is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any diseases, nor is it intended to take the place of your primary care physician. Statements in this program have not been evaluated by the FDA. As an empowered individual, you do have options available. We're honored to continue and share the teachings of the founding father of science of epigenetics, Dr. Joel Wallach.